Self-directed learning implementation strategies. How do we pull self-directed learning off? There are widely considered to be three central questions for self-regulating learning, which are: what are the goals for my learning? Where am I right now in relation to my goals? And if I haven't met my goals, what do I still need to do? Consequently, goal setting is at the core of self-directed learning. Why is goal setting so essential for self-directed learning? Well, without it, many of the unique and essential components of the process are undermined, if not rendered superficial. There is extensive evidence that reactive students' inability to self-regulate their academic learning and performance is highly dependent on the poor goals that they set. Goal setting has also been shown to focus attention away from goal-irrelevant tasks and onto goal-relevant tasks, motivate learners to exert a higher level of effort, motivate greater persistence over time, and produce a heightened sense of self-satisfaction. There are two dyads worth exploring in this realm. Dyad 1, generalized versus focused goals. Research shows that specific goals are more effective than general or vague goals. Progress towards specific goals is easier to gauge. And specific goals also allow the self-directed participant to not only determine a clear path forward, but also can help provide a clear sense of how reasonable their undertaking is. Therefore, in self-directed learning, focused goals are generally considered much superior to generalized goals. Our second dyad compares proximal versus distal goals. Both proximal, meaning short-term, and distal, meaning long-term, goals have unique and crucial value for self-directed learning. Short-term goals provide proximal feedback about learning progress, while long-term or distal goals stretch a person's self-regulatory vision further into the future. Self-directed learning requires students to select both proximal and distal goals. Typically, this involves initially selecting a single distal goal that is then broken up into multiple proximal goals. These proximal goals can be completed consecutively or alongside one another, but they should all ultimately be regulated to support progress towards the distal goal. How students should approach goal setting. Some students approach goal setting reactively. Reactive goal setters rely on naturally occurring feedback and social comparisons to make progress. They, at best, develop in self-directed learning at a much slower pace than their peers. What they should be doing is setting proactive goals. These proactive goal setters recognize the vital role that high-quality goals play in their success. They participate in goal setting earlier, more consistently, and without as much need for comparison. They are more committed, exert greater effort, and persist longer. Helping train and motivate our students to be proactive will add efficacy to their goal-setting efforts. To learn more about some of the strategies to implement self-directed learning, click on one of the three other links below. Otherwise, to move on to the next big idea, please click the link on the bottom right.